Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. I want to talk about this YouTuber that recently passed away. His name is Sin Ful The P. So if you don't know who Sin Ful The P is, he was a YouTuber. Yeah, he's a YouTuber, and he passed away. The circumstances involving his death, I don't know. I'm going to give my thoughts on it in a second, but I'm going by, the only thing that we can go by is his friends that were closest to him. And one of his friends that's closer to him, he didn't live in Canada at the time. Sin Ful was living in Canada, in Mississauga, Canada, Mississauga, Ontario. And so I'm talking about Freeze, is one of his closest friends, Freeze, who's also a YouTuber and do content. He wasn't living over there at the time, so he really don't know what happened. And there's another YouTuber content creator, Gorgeous Dre, Andre Taylor. He came out, him and Freeze, they had a conversation, and he was saying that, you know, they have to wait for the autopsy. They want to have the autopsy done in the United States. They don't want to have the autopsy done in Canada. I said, okay. They said they believe anything can happen, and they don't want to run the risk of doing the autopsy in Canada and they take his organs or whatever the case is. So I'm like, okay. So the story has it, I think Andre Taylor said that Sin Ful was having problems breathing, and he called 911. And when he called 911, I guess when they got there, like, it got worse and they couldn't resuscitate him because they said that he died in the house. That's what they said. Now, there's been a lot of videos being made about him. It's really sad, man. That's why all skin folk ain't kinfolk. I'm just going to let you know that right now. Like, all skin folk ain't kinfolk, and it's crazy. People are saying that he died of AIDS, he died of HIV. How do you know that? My first question is, how do you know that? And do you have the documents to prove that he had HIV or AIDS or whatever the case they said? But that's what a lot of people are saying. Like, it's really sad, man. It's like, he's not here to defend himself, and he's not here to defend himself anymore. And what I would say, if his family is ever watching and watching reports on him, I would just say to ignore it, because we don't know what he died of. To be honest with you, an autopsy wasn't done. And even when an autopsy gets done, it's up to the family whether they're going to share that information with you or not. So when you hear people say that he died of HIV and stuff, or AIDS, they're just making it up. They're just making it up. They don't know. And I don't know him to defend him, but I'm just saying I use common sense. And common sense is not that common, just to let y'all know that. It's not. It's I like to say common sense is exercised by the wise. Common sense is really not that common. So one people hear one video and then everybody go along with that video. Now, somebody else came out and said that he had did a video maybe about a year ago, or not even, maybe a few months ago, talking about, so you guys heard that I was dying, and then he showed himself like on his balcony in Mississauga and said, look at me, I look good, and I haven't looked this good since whatever he said. Somebody's saying that video is actually 3 years old. It's actually an old video. I don't know what to believe. Has he been in Canada 3 years? Because that video was taken. Has he been in Mississauga for 3 years? Because that video was taken, that he claims, 3 years ago. I don't know what to believe in this case. I really don't. The only thing I could come up with is, for Sin Ful, is that he was battling something. Something definitely was going on with him. And you really can't tell. I mean, you don't know unless he share it with you on what's going on with him. But there's been speculation that he gained a lot of weight. And if you gain a lot of weight over a lot in a short period of time, that's not good on your heart. You could have been possibly a heart attack, because they said that he had problems breathing. This is what Andre Taylor said. And he was close with Sin Ful, from what they say. They said he had problems breathing, and he called 911, and he died in the house. So I'm thinking, like, man, they couldn't resuscitate him. Like, did they get there too late? You know, I don't know what to believe. But if that's the case, he had problems breathing. It's something involving his circulatory system. Or he could have had a pulmonary embolism, whatever you call it. He could have had that. He could have had a heart attack. He could have had the vid. He could have had other stuff. You never know. But to say that the man died of AIDS, like, I need to see paperwork. You understand what I'm saying? I need to see paperwork. And I don't know him. Like, I was not friends with him. I watched his videos though. But, you know, I'm not I'm not an advocate or anything. I'm just going off of, I see videos being made. I'm not going to say who's making the videos. I'm not doing that. But this is one guy said, he said, you know what this one guy said? He said, have you noticed people that have been beefing with me just ended up dead? And he said, you got to make it mysterious. You got to have a level of, what do you say? You got to have a level of curiosity or something. He said, you can't make it like obvious that you did it. But he said people in high places, that's what happens when you mess with people in high places. So he trying to allude to the fact that he has something to do with it, because he said the other person that was beefing with me just mysteriously ended up dead. Now, here's what I'm going to say about that. That I made a note of, and I took it seriously. I'm going to tell you why. Now, Sin Ful and the other guy that he was talking about, which was Kevin Samuels, it's really easy to get guys like this touch, and then all you need is a pretty woman. Not saying that Sin Ful was crazy, but they got stuff out there, guys, that they could just put on your doorknob that'll take you up out of here. I learned that from Dick Gregory. That they got some stuff that they could just put on your door of your car that'll take you up out of here. Or somebody could slip something in your drink. Anything could have happened to them. But I wouldn't rule out foul play though. I'm just letting you guys know that. I wouldn't rule out foul play. That's why it's important for them to do the autopsy here. I'm just gonna say that. I haven't ruled out foul play. Because but he could have had a situation going on, a health situation that we don't know about. It could have been he could have had diabetes. You don't know. He could have had complications with that. He could have had the vid. He could have had any heart condition for his weight fluctuation. It could have been anything. But I just wanted to say that to him. He was a content creator. I followed him because he used to play music sometimes, so I used to follow him that way. You know, I thought he was hilarious, but there's some other controversies that surrounded him, but I don't want to get into it at this point. I don't really, it is what it is at this point. But yeah, that's my opinion on it. Make sure you guys subscribe and also hit the bell notification so you can get updated on my latest content as it drops. Feel free to give me a like and share. All that'd be greatly appreciated. Happy New Year, y'all. Peace.
With these meaningless, ridiculous, and frivolous conversations that lead to no accumulations, stop that. Stop wasting time. The people basically, they're not fruitful, they're not profitable, they're not meaningful. Stay out of those toxic relationships. Toxic relationships can cause you to have a battleship with success. Toxic relationships can cause you to hinder your relationship with God. Toxic relationships can hinder you from being the best you. Toxic relationships will keep you existing when you should be living. Watch out for these toxic relationships. Observe and stay preserved, and that way you'll know who deserves your time. Stop blessing everybody with your time. Stop blessing everybody with conversation. Stop casting pearls before swine. Everybody don't deserve you. Everybody don't deserve to be around you. Everybody don't deserve the opportunity and the blessing to say that they even knew you.